Hey, what's up everybody? We are back today with a full stealth-based, no-kills walkthrough for completing Death of the Outsider, Mission 3, The Bank Job. Now, this is going to be more of an instructional walkthrough than a playthrough, just like the other ones were, as I guide you through this mission. I'll be giving you some tips along the way for alternate ways to rob the bank and get inside, as well as some tactics that you can use in the game that may be beneficial to you. Now, we will be picking up all of the paintings, bone charms, as well as doing all of the contracts in this mission, since they don't require any killing. Now, going forward in future videos, we will be doing all of the contracts, whether they require killing or not. I had a request to do them anyways, since there really is no achievement in the game for not killing anyone. It's just a matter of not being detected. And just as an aside, with all of these, as before, we will be leaving in the cutscenes based on some requests that I got early on before I started the series. So that's it for this one. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
A lifetime ago, I felt the power of the Void through Dowd. All of us who were close to him could do unnatural things. Move from rooftop to rooftop in the blink of an eye. Fall on our enemies and slit their throats, like shadows sharpened to a fine edge. I made Dunwall bleed for all it had done to me, to the ones I loved. Now the Outsider has given that back, for reasons I don't understand. But it feels good. We killed so many rich bastards who thought nothing of hurting us. It felt like justice. Is the Outsider to blame for what we did? Does corruption come from the Void, or from our own hearts? Witches and charlatans wearing necklaces of fingers and teeth. Cities sliding into chaos. Now the eyeless peddle black magic in the streets while their leaders keep even more dangerous secrets locked away. They've got a relic that turned a boy into a god centuries ago. A knife that might be the only way to destroy that god. The Outsider knows I intend to steal it. Does he know what else I intend to do? You gave me this for luck, my sweet Deirdre. I don't know if it's ever worked that way, but maybe it will, this time. I'm ready to rob the bank.
It's time.
The bank is owned and managed by Dolores Michaels. I've cased the place and talked to some people, and there are a few ways inside. Others have tried and failed to rob it before.
They didn't have the focus we do. We're not after coin. How do you plan to get inside?
There are 3 possible ways. The roof, the trash disposal, and the sewers. All of them might work. Once I'm in, I need to find the vault. The knife must be in there.
The security in the bank will be high. What have you learned?
Not much. Guards, clockwork soldiers, and a lot of locked doors that can only be opened remotely. And that's all before I'd reach the vault itself.
There's an intake port on the roof that leads to the bank's ventilation system. If you find enough laudanum, most of the bank's security will be days before you even get inside.
There was a pharmacy in the district, but it's been seized by the bank. I'll see what I can find.
I know how resourceful you can be. These keys you found with the eyeless leaders will lead you to whatever holds the knife. You'll also need the bank manager's key. Deal with her how you see fit.
Then I'm ready.
Good.
Do you want me to stay?
No. There's nothing you can do for me here. Go get the knife. Kill the Outsider. I trust you to finish this.
I will, Dowd. One way or another.
Alright, let's get started. So we're going to head down here, and once again, we will pop into the options and check out our difficulty settings. Still on very hard, as requested.
I've never seen.
And now we're going to move into the city. Obviously, as with other missions, there's not a lot to see here as far as the transition area goes. It's just, you know, run up, get on the tram, go into the city. Nothing that special. Be nice if there was like 10,000 coins worth of loot between here and the boat, but you know, can't have everything, right? Alright, we'll pop off the tram. We're going to do a quick save. I'm going to give you some save points throughout this that you can use or choose not to use, but I generally find them to be good points at which to save the game. So avoid saving at your own risk, I guess I would say. There's a part of this when we get to the bank that the guard patrol patterns can get pretty wonky, so you really do want to be saving your game as often as you can so you have good return points in case you screw up or get spotted. The reason we're coming up here is because the first bone charm in this mission is up here. Probably recognize this location from the last mission since there was a bone charm up here. We're going to use the same tactic as we used in mission 2 to get across here. We're just going to go up on top of this light post and then over top of the roof over here because there is another bone charm on top of this roof. So we're going to grab a few coins, and then over here on this little bench, we're going to find our next bone charm. Now we're going to head down into the dentist's office. Not as much loot here as there was before, but there are a few coins to pick up here and then over on his desk. Unfortunately, I don't believe there was anything behind that grate the last time I checked it, so I just kind of skipped it in the video because there was nothing there. Now we're going to head all the way downstairs, and we're going to head around the back of the Red Camellia. Now, I'm going to show you how to get the Red Camellia key since it's locked and how to get in there, but we're not going in there because I looked around in there and there really wasn't much worth looting. I think there's like some bath salts in there and something else, but it wasn't significant to me, so I figured we'd skip it. But this little guy here is protecting the Red Camellia. Of course, he's asleep on the job, so you can just choke him out. Just get him out of the way. And if you loot his body, he will give you the key to this locked door, right? So it says Red Camellia key needed. You loot his body, you get the Red Camellia key, and you can open the door and get inside. Once again, we're not going in there. I just wanted to show it to you. We're going to pop up on here and just displace across and then drop down, and we are going to take out these two robbers that are dealing with this, trying to rob the ship. Now I'm just going to do a drop takedown on him. This is my preferred method for this. That way I don't get spotted. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to do the same thing to this guy. If this guy sees you take out his buddy, he can freak out, but in the course of doing the drop takedown, I've never had him see me. So we'll swim into the boat, grab the boat captain's delivery boat key, and that's going to get us on the boat. So they're trying to crack the lock. They can't open the lock, but the key is underneath the boat. So we'll get up on here. We'll head into this little room. And we're going to find a bone charm in here as well as some loot. Grenade, map, rewire tool, nothing much else. But we are going to find this painting here. So this serves as one of the paintings for our collection in the game, but it also serves as a completion to a contract that we have yet to pick up. So it's kind of like pre-completing the contract. Now we are going to choke this guy out, but we're going to drop him over here and set him down, and then grab the bone charm. Alright. The reason we wanted to set him down over there is because there's a bottle of high-proof flammable liquor here, and you don't want to choke him out and then drop him on that because it will kill him. And if you're just randomly trying not to kill people for no reason other than the fact that you don't want to do it, that's a better option than dropping him on the flaming bottle of liquor. You know, whatever. If you want to do that, you can do that. We'll save our game real quick. And we're going to head up here, and we are going to go into the taxidermist shop. There is a little bit of loot to get in there, and I want to show you how to get in there and also how to take out some other guards in this area. I do like taking out the majority of the guards around here because they just patrol in weird ways, and it freaks me out. So I just like to get them out of the way entirely and not deal with them. So that's the plan. So this red shirt guard down here doesn't seem to want to walk away until you get up on this balcony. That seems to be the cue that makes him walk away. When he does do that, we're going to pop down here and take out the newspaper, the town crier. Just because if you take out that guard, he sees you, freaks out, and blah, blah, blah. So it's easier just to take him out. And they're going to swing up here, choke this guy out, drag him back. And just drop him down for the time being. Not going to worry about stashing his body just yet. And then we're going to go up here and get this elite guard. Make sure you turn left before you just run out and snatch him and peek, because there is another guard that can walk down that street And if he happens to be close enough to you, he will spot you. So I'm going to show him to you in a sec, but I was fairly confident based on the timing of patrol patterns that he wasn't there, but you could see him coming in that right there. So use your ghost walk foresight, and go check on him before you grab the elite guard. I just decided to not do that because, you know, I'm pro and I know the guard's patterns by heart. I can sense them. That's what it is. No, I just kind of assumed he wasn't there, just given the timing of how quickly I got over here. But, you know, he does walk down there. Now, there is another elite guard down here I'll try to show you right there. So you can't just jump down and take this guy out. You kind of have to wait. We'll wait for him to walk away, and then we will snatch that elite guard, and then we'll get him, and we'll stash their bodies. So just kind of, now that we have him marked, we can watch him and just kind of do the waiting dance. And as he's walking away here, just let him get a little ways away from you, and then you're going to get on top of the guard shack, and we'll just do a drop takedown on this guy. Don't worry about picking his body up yet. Just sneak, and then wait for this guy to come down, and we're just going to go up behind him and snatch him up, choke him out, and we are going to pick him up, and we're going to stash his body. So we're going to move a few bodies around, just because, once again, as I said, I haven't had full view of all of the guard patrol patterns, so I'm not entirely clear on guards that are patrolling the bank plaza area. They do move around a bit when they get alerted, and we will be alerting them, but I don't know if they walk through this door here behind us and come up here, and I would just prefer them not see these bodies and get even more alerted than they already will be. So I'm just using good judgment here and trying to preempt any nonsense that could occur by hiding these bodies. So we're just going to stick the bodies in this little corner. No one ever comes up here and looks in this corner unless guards are totally freaking out because of something happening in this back alley. In the previous mission, if the guy you freed got all crazy and started running out the door, yelling and screaming, oh, the guy who was being trapped by the gal who was trying to poison him with blood flies, he can run out there and alert guards, and that brings them back into here. But there's really nothing in this mission that can do that, so this is a safe spot to stash everybody. But now that they've been stashed, we are going to save our game. Now that we saved our game, we are going to head across the street after we go pick up one of my favorite things in the game, because we're going to be using it just a bit later, and I bet you can guess what it is. If you're a subscriber to the channel, you know what I'm going to get. I mean, come on. You can't just randomly leave bottles of flammable liquor laying around without picking them up. Come on. So, we're going to go grab this. We are going to use this as something, as a utility in the game. It's not just me randomly collecting bottles of flammable liquor. We're going to use it inside the taxidermist shop to deal with some blood flies, but we're just going to stick that there for now. Now, what you do want to do if you are going to go in the taxidermist shop is come over here and through this window, smash that out. That's really the easiest way to destroy that blood fly nest before you go in there. Highly recommend you do it. Otherwise, when you get inside, you can have some problems with the blood fly spawning from it and not being able to hit it with your sword, and you have to try to attack it with a ranged weapon and blah, blah. It just gets, it's stupid. So avoid that entirely and just go ahead and take it out through the window. There's nothing really much in here, but this does kind of progress the whole find the sanitation key aspect of the game along just a little bit. So that's why I wanted to show that to you. And plus, if you didn't want to take out the guards, but you did want to go into the Spectre Club, this is a great way to get across the top of all of those guards and avoid them entirely. So I wanted to point that out to you as well. Now, there are two guards that hang out back in the passageway to our left that we're kind of angled at right now that I'm trying to avoid. But just like in Mission 2, there were a couple of them over there with a dog. Same thing over there right now. We're going to knock on the Spectre Club door, and he's going to give us the same speech that he gave us in Mission 2. Yes. Apparently, he doesn't remember that we chopped him in the throat, choked him out, and you know, mimicked him and used him to get into Shan Yun's house. You know, short memory, whatever. I'll take it.
Elena's work is getting sloppy.
Hey, who are you? Aren't you the person that choked me out last time? Oh, yeah. That's not me. Come on. That's a totally different person with a red eye and a missing hand. It's kind of just half there and half not, you know. That was a different person. All right, we're going to head in here, do a bit of looting. So if you come back here, you can pick up some of these coins as well as incendiary bolts. Depending on how many bottles of flammable liquor you have, the incendiary bolts will come in handy when you get into the taxidermist shop. Come around here and just do a little bit of looking for some extra loot. If you dip under the bar here, you can grab a bit of money. If you're low on voltaic shots, you can get that stuff here. We are going to grab a bottle of flammable liquor. Sorry, it's, you know, I can't avoid it. I mean, come on. We'll just drop it here by the door real quick. And we're going to head back inside. Now, we are going to push this button and grab the loot that is behind the rotating shelf. Now, you could have hit this button in Mission 2 as well and gotten some electric bolts that live there, but the loot has been changed, obviously, since we've changed missions, but there is still some stuff there to grab. So we're going to head upstairs and do a bit more looting. There isn't anything massive in the house, but I did want to point out to you that, yes, you can get in here. Yes, there is some stuff to pick up. We haven't hit the black market yet, so a little bit of extra coin is not going to be a bad thing when it comes to doing upgrades before you wind up robbing the black market. As always, we will be doing our upgrades prior to robbing the black market, but we will be robbing the black market. Have no fear. They're not getting away unrobbed. Now, you're going to find a coin in here. The key that you pick up from the previous mission, you still have, and you're able to open this panel, but there's nothing behind it, so, and it's not locked this time, so one of those things. As I said, there's not a ton of loot in here, but there is some stuff that you can pick up. A few coins in here, a few voltaic shots, nothing too crazy. Round in here, grab some more coins, a little copper wire, bath salts. You always need bath salts when you're pumping the blood out of unsuspecting civilians. Some electric burst. You can't have too many of those.
Breath, right?
And then one more room to take a look at. We won't brush past that guy. We'll just kind of go around this direction. And there is a flaming bottle of liquor there, but we're going to ignore that one and grab one more when we go back downstairs, because all we really need is 3. Or at least all that I'm willing to spend time carrying with me is 3, would be a better description. Technically, you could use 4. But we'll head downstairs and we'll grab our last bottle of flammable liquor. If you run in here, they freak out. I don't know if they'll alert, but they do start questioning what you're doing, so walking through here is probably a better option. We'll hit the button one more time to rotate the shelf back and grab our last bottle of flammable liquor. And now we're going to head outside. Now, the reason we're putting these close to the door to take them out is there's technically no transition, but if you step outside too far, the guy locks the door behind you, and you have to go through the whole knocking and a little minor sequence to get back in. So just setting one outside the door close allows you not to have to go back in. Now, just because those guards are over there to our right, we are going to port around through here just so we don't get spotted. They don't move around too much, but once again, it's just better to be safe than sorry. We'll put that here, and then we'll head all the way back to the other side. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of moving around just for bottles of liquor, and that can explode, but you know me. This is one of my things in the game. You've learned to accept the fact that I'm neurotic about using these things when I can. It's why you love me. You know that is true. Alright, so we're going to head over here and drop this one and then crack open the door, and we will take them all in with us. And do a quick save before you go in, just in case you run into blood flies you weren't expecting. I'll show you where they're at, but you never know. It's always good to save early and save often. You know, that's from my best-selling book that's out on Amazon. You can pick that up now. It's called MC's Rules on Gaming. This is chapter 1, Save Early and Save Often. Yeah. It's a preview chapter. You can check it out. But when you do come up in here, we are going to throw this at the nest that's right in here. However, sometimes there are blood flies outside the door on this wood paneling where this little window is here to our right. So you may have to take them out first and then throw your bottle of flammable liquor or use your incendiary bolt. But in this time, for whatever reason, they were not. There's a little money here and some under the counter. So we'll grab that stuff. And we will pick this up and head downstairs. There is another bloodfly nest close by. So you don't have to carry both of these downstairs with you. We're just going to grab this bloodfly husk that came back. No other real loot that I was particularly interested in picking up in here. At least upstairs. But your next nest is right here. There's no trap here this time that you don't have to worry about that. But we'll just take this out. And then we'll go grab our last bottle. Now, if you're smart and you don't want to use any incendiary bolts, not that you're probably using them for anything else, but if you bring 4 bottles with you, it technically takes 4 bottles through here. But I only grabbed 3 because even my tolerance for grabbing that many is a little low. Actually, technically it's 5, I think. Alright, and the reason that we equipped that was because I knew these stupid bloodflies were going to attack, and I was going to have to shoot that thing and fend them off. It's no big deal if you take damage from them, because there is a health elixir in here, so it doesn't really matter too much if they come after you. Now, the last one is actually in this back cage back here, and the reason you want to take it out is because there is blood amber down here. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do, is to get some blood amber. Once again, just fill up on some extra... There. Fill up on some extra money before we get into the black market. So, a couple pieces of blood amber. Nothing game-changing, but a little extra money never hurt us. So we'll come over here, and you will find your health elixir here with a few coins, voltaic shot, if you need it. There's some food. As I said, nothing game-changing, but it is worth coming in here, in my opinion, just to see it. And that's that window I was talking about, where you see those boards across the windows that are like, there's the window, and then behind it there are bars, and in front of that there are wood planks. Those aren't technically wood planks, they're actually steel planks, so when you smash them, your sword just bounces off them. That's why I said you want to wind up killing that thing from outside instead of killing it from inside. So from here, we are going to go back and get up on top here, and we're going to head into the pharmacist's daughter's apartment. But before we do that, her apartment is accessed through this balcony right here. But if we take a look over here, I'll show you the reason we're coming up this direction. There's a guard down here, and some loot. So if you want to refill completely on your S&J health elixir, you can do that and grab that thing. There's some money here, some more food, however you want to do it. But there is a guard down here. We're going to go ahead and mark. So if you just go into your foresight, your ghost form, which I like to call it, and head down here, mark this guard, don't run into the fence. And don't screw up marking the guard. I thought it said mark. Apparently, it did not. I apparently marked something entirely different. Whatever. So, just so you have vision on him from here on out, we'll mark him. You could go down there and take him out right now if you wanted to. I don't want to do that. What I would rather do is come in here, do a bit of looting, go visit the pharmacist's daughter. Now, the reason you want to visit the pharmacist's daughter is that one of the options for getting into the bank is using poppy tincture or laudanum and knocking everybody in the bank out. The way that you can steal it is from an auction, and the only way you get access to the auction is to talk with the pharmacist's daughter, and that opens up the plaza area marked as 1 on your Syria map. It doesn't open until you talk to her, all right? Now, there is another way to get the poppy tincture. However, there is a painting over there that you want to get access to as well. So that's the reason you want to talk to her to open that up. You can choose to steal the poppy tincture from there or not. I'll show you how to do it, but you can also get poppy tincture from the black market. You can buy it or steal it from the black market. So
The bank
Whatever
sent
you want to
didn't
do,
they?
however you want to do it. There are a couple options, but
Sorry
I'll
to
show them all
disappoint
to
you,
you.
but I've got nothing left. You can't bleed whale oil from a bone. Tell your trustees that.
I'm not from the bank. I saw that your father's pharmacy closed. Do you know where else I can find laudanum?
Yes, the auction house. My father used to distill laudanum by hand from a secret family recipe.
So she's
Poppy
telling us
tincture,
about the
he called
poppy
it.
tincture.
Better than factory made. But the bank's selling that along with all of his other worldly possessions. They took everything we had.
I'm sorry for your loss. The newspaper says Ivan Jacoby murdered him.
His body was completely drained of blood when the Grand Guard found him. I've no idea why anyone would want to hurt Father. Anyway, the auction's today. You better hurry. And wear a hat or something. The guards won't let you in looking like that.
All right, now there are bath salts in there, but don't steal them. I've had her freak out on me before and go running out of the room. So just since the guard is still downstairs and there's other guards nearby and civilians, just it's not worth it. Just don't. You can try to sneak and steal it if you really want it, but in my opinion, it's not worth getting caught over. All right, as we come down here, we are going to use this bottle of chloroform to take this guy out. This is one of about a million things you could do to take this guy out, but you could just sneak up behind him and choke him out if you really wanted to. I don't particularly care to. Just wanted to give you an alternate method to take him out. You could shock him. You just do whatever you want. We're going to stash him in here. Well, I don't really want to stash him up there because I want that loot now and later. Put him down there. Now we'll grab this, and this stuff we'll come back and get later once we wind up killing some dogs. But before we go anywhere else, we are going to go into Igor's, or Ivan, yes, Ivan's apartment. I think that's what his name was. Ivan Stravinsky. No, and knock out some eyelets that are in there. So we're going to need one more bottle of chloroform. That's why we came back inside. There are other ways to deal with them. Once again, bottle of chloroform does the job. So we're going to head into here. Head upstairs. And now there are going to be two of them in here. And you got to be quick about this when you use your chloroform. So we're going to open the door. Put foresight on. And then we're just going to mark them. Alright, so we know where they're looking when we walk in here. Here's one and here's two. Okay, so there's just two of them. That's all you have to worry about. I've never seen three in here, and I've been in here a few times. Alright, now we're going to grab our chloroform bottle, head inside here, and we're just going to take up a position of observation and see if they move at all.
I'll get the cigars tomorrow.
I don't remember how they path in here, and it's probably not a bad idea to save our game before we do this. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll just peek out here
What else was Jacoby hiding?
ever so carefully and toss the bottle
Silvergraphs,
and then
letters.
back into hiding.
Is someone
Alright, so that didn't get us spotted. That just knocked them out. Now, once we get through here, we'll do a little more looting. Once again, there's nothing, as with the last mission, there's nothing game-changing in his apartment. You would think since they've been in here looting, if we were to loot their bodies, there would be, like, some good coin on them or something along those lines, but there's not. Yeah. Anyways, so we'll come over here, just look around a little bit more. There is some loot to have over here, if I recall correctly. A little bit of coinage. Some more bullets if you need them. A note. Nothing too much. I just wanted to show you that you can get in here, how you deal with those guards in case you want to come in here on your own and just kind of look around. I might have missed something. Who knows? Aww. Did somebody get hanged? Alright. That's what happens when you murder people. Alright, so that's it for all of this stuff. We'll go ahead and head back downstairs, and now we're going to go to the plaza and get our painting and our poppy tincture. We'll move ever so carefully back here towards the plaza. Now, I have never seen guards at the bottom of these stairs as long as I haven't alerted anybody down here. So these doors are completely closed off until you speak with the pharmacist's daughter. There are many different ways to handle this situation here. I do suggest you save your game before you try any of them.
When they're looking like this.
Once you do save your game, though, what you're going to want to do is go into Ghost Walk form. We're going to get up on top of these pipes. We're just going to displace up there. Hop over to this balcony. Hop over to the next balcony. We're going to wait for our energy to come back. And then once our energy comes back, we're going to get up on top and behind the stage. Okay, from here, we are just going to get right down on here and snatch this painting. Alright,
a special kind of
that guard being alerted is not a bad thing by any means. I actually suggest that you alert him in that way. Reason being, that makes him move around. So what you can do is come down here, mark him, and then there are a couple guards over here we'll mark just a bit later, but you can see kind of where everybody is. Those two guards behind that planter. But we're just going to wait for him to move around this area. Sometimes the other two guards do start walking around as well, depending on how alerted he gets. So if you want to mark both of them as well, you can mark them in that little go round. I just didn't. As I said, I'll mark them a little bit later. But you're waiting for him to kind of move and look towards you. And he's going to stand here for a little while, and I apologize, but I do want to show you how he paths. So he's going to stand and face us like this, and then he's just going to hang out here for a bit. But eventually he's going to walk from left, where he is now, to the right, and that's what we're waiting for him to do, just like he's doing now. We're going to drop down here. We're going to grab a rewire tool that's in this box, and then we're going to grab this poppy tincture that is sitting right here. So we're just going to snatch that, head over here, and we're going to displace right back up on top of here. Now, there is some other stuff to loot here, and I'm going to show you how you can get it. We're just going to head down here, and we are going to mark these two other guards that are standing right behind this planter. So this one and this one. So just to give yourself view on them, that's where they stand when you first enter the plaza. So you can even ghost walk form into the plaza and mark all three guards at once before you ever teleport into here. Just however you want to handle it. We're going to wait for him to get out of the way, because what we're going to do is grab a piece of blood amber and an urn that are down here that are both worth money. So once he walks across, we're just going to grab this blood amber. And then this, you don't have to grab this urn. What I'm about to do is a little bit tenuous. It doesn't always work out the way I want it to. But effectively, if you get up here and put your marker, your teleport location here, you can grab this and then teleport up top before a guard actually fully alerts. So that's the way I do it. If you want to save before you do that, because it's really important for you to get that loot, then feel free. I usually don't, but I've done it enough now that I'm fairly comfortable with that maneuver. But if you're having trouble with it, save your game. It's not that big of a deal. We're going to ghost walk down here because teleporting at that angle is complicated. So it's easier just to displace using your ghost walk form. We'll just wait, get a little bit of energy back here, and then we'll go do that and get out of here. So that's how you kind of clear that area out. Once again, you can get the poppy tincture from the black market, but if you want that painting, you got to go in there anyway. So
the worst thieves.
Whatever. If you're having problems with the guard patrol paths, just ignore it. Go to the black market and buy it. You can steal it from the black market, but that's a whole nother can of worms. So yeah, you'll see that in a bit. I'll get into how that all works. But yeah, so all this area has been cleared up, and now we're going to go deal with the guards in the plaza. This next part, you're really going to have to get a feel for it. Your patrol paths that you see may not be the same as the patrol paths that I illustrate in this video. I have seen them change a little bit, and generally to get around that, your best bet is to just use Ghost Walk form and mark the hell out of every guard that's in this next area. So we'll save, and I'll show you what I do. I'm going to put on our voltaic shot, get up on this railing, turn around, and shoot 2 dogs. One right here. He can spot you if you're not careful. Generally, one-shotting him is a good idea, but we'll get him in 2. And then this dog back here. You heard somebody yell. It's actually not a bad idea to have them yell, because that seems to trigger this guard and dog walking down here. When nobody gets alerted, I occasionally have a situation that happens where neither one of these guys, this guard or this dog, come down here. I'm not saying that's how it's going to work out in your game, but sometimes I've seen that happen in mine. Now, you could just shoot him with an electric shot to get rid of him, but what you do want to do is take their bodies and hide them over here, because there is a good chance that other guards will come down here now that one of them yelled upstairs because a dog got shot and they heard it, they saw it, whatever. So putting the bodies over here gives you a little bit of extra time to respond to guards walking down the stairs. So just keep that in mind. As you pass in front of these stairs, you do kind of want to check to see that there's not a guard walking right towards you. However, I have had guards walk down from there in the past. That's why I am pointing it out. Or at least making a point to say something about it, so it doesn't happen to you and you're like, you never told me the guards were going to come down here. So. And there is a guard heading down right now. So. We're just going to teleport over here. Teleport on top of the fan. And then teleport behind her. Wherever she goes. And just take her out. And we're just going to snatch her up and put her over here on the side as well, because believe it or not, I've had like 3 guards walk down those stairs before. So it's better to stash the bodies and give yourself a little breathing room between when they actually alert and freak out because they see bodies and when you can take them out. Sometimes they walk down as a group and it's even more difficult to deal with them. But this is what I was talking about finally just coming up here and marking up whatever guards you see. Now, I'm only going to mark a few because I'm really familiar with what all the variations of the patrol patterns by now. But for you, before, you know, at that point where we saved our game, before we even shot the dogs, that might be a good time to just go down there beneath that balcony, mark up the guards that are down there, go into the plaza and in front of the bank, mark up those guards, and just use that so you can track all their movements, look at all their sight lines. That would be a good recommendation if you're having trouble with this. We're going to take this guy with us because we're going to use him to mimic and take out the elite guards that are here.
Damn. I thought I heard blood fly.
So we're going to take him out, drop him down right over here. And then I'm going to use my judgment on this and go up here with this current mimic. My recommendation for you, if you're not familiar with how things move around, is to mimic that elite guard that we just took out, or another guard. You've got one downstairs you can just carry up here and mimic, and use them to move up here and go where I'm about to show you. Because if you screw around too much, your mimic will run out and you'll get caught. That's obviously not going to happen here,
Michael's
but
deposited loan.
just
I'm here to make
FYI. The guard patrol pass that you're seeing here, I want to reiterate, not always the same thing, all right? Sometimes that elite guard that's standing right there and walking around is sitting on those stairs and not patrolling. So just keep it in mind. What you're seeing in the video is not going to be identical to what you experience in the game. That's why I said use your ghost walk form, mark the guards up, use your best judgment. All right? There are 2 guards here, 2 regular guards that patrol this top area. The one you see across the way, and then there was that one that walked left in front of us and down to our left, who's actually right in front of us right now. Once that elite guard gets over there a little farther, we're just going to grab this guy, drag him back, and then close this door, That's not closing the door. Close the door. That's still not closing the door. Alright, third time's a charm. There we go. Don't do that in your game. Make sure you have the icon before you hit X and drop the body repeatedly and look really dumb while you're trying to make a walkthrough. Whatever. Alright, we're just going to drop him here and we're going to wait for our energy to come back, and then we are going to mimic him and use the mimic of him to take out another guard. And we're going to kind of repeat that pattern a little bit throughout this area. Keeps us safe. You can get around here in whatever way you see fit. You can use the balconies to skip the guards. Once again, I just like to take them out and get them out of the way. It does cause a little bit of a problem later if you decide to do that, but I'll get into that in just a bit. Alright, we can see there's that other guard across the way. He's now walking towards us, and we're just going to wait for him to come to us. He does pause right in the middle of the freaking street there, and you kind of have to wait on him. But eventually he walks towards us and down to the left, kind of the way the other guy came and walked before. But this is the path he's going to take. So we're just going to wait for him to get close to us. The elite guard is actually moving in the other direction, so it's safe for us to snatch him up. And we're just going to drag him all the way back in here. And rinse and repeat, just without the same fail with closing the door. See, if you get the icon, the door closes fine. Alright, so we're going to ditch him in the corner. And they're both unconscious. I've randomly had a guard die on me before and not known why. I think I put him in water accidentally, so that's why I'm checking to see if they're unconscious. Not that there is any water in that room, but regardless. So you can see I was a little impatient there and could have waited for my mimic to end, got my energy back, and decided not to do that, but whatever. The guards that are all the way at the end of the plaza can't really see you from this vantage point, so it's okay to be a little hasty. Whatever, you know. As I said, I've done this a few times, so I'm fairly familiar with what they can see and what they can't see on very hard. Now, if you're not playing on very hard, you can get away with a lot more from a distance and being spotted perspective. But we are going to wait for our energy to come completely back. We're going to pick this guy up and move him towards the door. We are going to mimic him to move across the courtyard out here. And we want him to be as close to the door as we can get him without him being spotted. So we're going to mimic him from here and then move out. And we're going to move right back here and take out an elite guard that is on the left. He patrols from the right side or the left side of this staircase that's just to our right, all the way back to where he is now, and then back over there to the edge of the staircase. He never walks in front of the staircase, but he walks at this, behind this like half upside down triangle area. And we're just going to dump him right here. Now, there is a female elite guard that patrols on this staircase. I don't remember if I saw her or not. I think we took her out earlier because she decided to wander down into the rest of the fray. But she does occasionally patrol the staircase or sit on the staircase. So you may have more than one elite guard right here that you need to take out. I think she's the one that walked down the stairs to check out the area where we killed, or we didn't kill. We knocked out the guard and the dog to begin with. So if you remember, I was telling you, watch out because guards can walk down here. I think she's the one that walked down. That's why she's not on the stairs right now. But there is a guy up here. We're going to mark him. And there's a dog up here as well. We're going to mark the dog. Remember, Mimic doesn't fool the dogs. So, just FYI. Now that we can see where he is, we're going to wait for him to come back across. And I'll show you his patrol path. This is going to take a little longer than it should because I want to demonstrate for you what the patrol path is. He walks left to right, back and forth. He'll come over here and sit down and hang out for a little while. Alright, while he does that, we're going to go ahead and save our game. And we're going to check our stats really quick here just to make sure we have no deaths. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to teleport up on this wall here. Just going to wait just a second. Perhaps we can will him to walk away. Walk away. Walk away. Walk away.
They're gonna work me till I
These are
drop.
not the droids you're looking for.
In the world to make it worth it.
He can go about his business. See? There we go. The old Jedi mind trick worked. Alright, now we are going to snipe this dog, but we're going to wait for him to get a little further away so the sound of us sniping the dog doesn't alert him. There we go. He's walking, he's walking, he's walking. There we go. Alright, now, instead of chasing him, he actually turns around on you, so you don't want to chase him. What you want to do is come around down here, and you're going to get up behind him. So you can see how he kind of turns like that. He would see you if you were following him from behind and you weren't quick enough to grab him. So what we're going to do is we're going to get up here. We're not going to port up here because you see he kind of has vision on this wall. We're just going to swing around to the right and come up from behind him. And we're going to go ahead and grab him and choke him out. So he's going to start walking away. And we're just going to grab him, choke him out. Okay, now, feel free to fast forward the video a little bit, unless you want to know where all the bodies are, because what we're going to do now is stash all of these bodies in this room over here to the right. The reason we're doing this is because there is a contract in here to pickpocket a note from a guard. Alright, the guard spawns in this area, in the guard shack that's right back here in front of us, just to the left here before we go in this door. He spawns in there. He will stay in there and not leave that area, from what I can tell, as long as he does not see bodies of dogs and other guards on the ground. If he notices them, he becomes alerted and starts walking around, and if he gets alerted, it ruins the contract. So, the thing to do is to move all these dogs out of the way, all the bodies out of the way, and hide them. The reason we haven't picked up the contract yet is because he doesn't spawn until you pick up the contract. So, if you get all the other guards out of the way, all the dogs out of the way, then pick up the contract, he spawns alone, and all you have to do is worry about avoiding him. So that's why we have avoided picking up any of the contracts until now, is specifically for that reason. So he'll spawn in here, okay? And he doesn't leave this little area at all if he doesn't see bodies. So that's why we're kind of doing this. Now, what we are going to do is go get a sewer access wrench. This is going to give us access to the sewers if you want to go in that direction and rob the bank.
Good. There's
And
someone here
it's
for maintenance.
also going to
The
give you
wrench to get the hatches
access
open should be nearby.
to robbing the black market. So the wrench is right here. Okay.
This should be able to open the hatches.
We're going to take the wrench with us. We're just going to close the door behind us. No particular reason. And we're going to take his body, and we're going to stick him in the room over here as well. Probably completely unnecessary, but just to be thorough, we're doing that. Now, the most important thing about hiding the bodies is when you leave here, close the door. Okay? Don't just hide the bodies and leave the door open. Alright, now we're going to go through a couple things. For sewers access, you're going to attach your access wrench, turn these knobs. Same thing over here. Attach the access wrench, turn the knob. I'm not going through the whole sewer access thing. I just want to point those out to you. Now, the other way you can do it is by coming over here and powering a lift that leads you up to the roof. That gets you roof access. That's actually what we're going to do because that allows you to use the poppy tincture to knock everybody out. In order to power that thing, you got a couple options. Your first option is just to come back here and grab a whale oil tank, stick it in here, and fill it. There's also a bit of loot over here to grab. And before we leave, I want to show you something. Door locked. Sanitation area key needed is what it says. So you don't have the sanitation area key yet, but I do want to show you where to get it, and where you use it is on that door. So that's when she was talking about the trash compactor or the garbage compactor area. That's the other way you get into the bank. So roof access through the garbage, or through the trash compactor, or through the sewers. Now, if you look down here, there's a body. Okay, remember when we went into that little pass-through apartment and I said I'm showing you the sanitation access? This is where you get the sanitation key and also a little bit of loot. You don't have to pick this up right now. Technically, we could pick it up on our way out of the bank, but I wanted to show it to you anyways. And we'll go back over here and I'll show you where to use the key in case you didn't catch it. And then I'll show you how you get over there without using the key at all. So just giving you a couple other options depending on how you want to handle this area in your own game for getting in there. Like if you're like, hey, I want to skip all the guards, there's the trash compactor area. So it's not a compactor actually. It's not going to kill you if you get in there. It's just a trash chute. Alright, if you get up on this electrical transformer, right, use your ghost walk form. You're going to head over here and you're going to put a marker right. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Alright, we're going to put a marker right here. Alright, and then you're just going to jump and pop over there. Alright, so that gets you over the barbed wire. And they're going to do the same thing right here. We can get our energy back. We're going to ghost walk over here. Just put our marker wherever. It doesn't really matter. And they're going to wait and get our energy back. And then pop over here. And you can see effectively that gets you past that locked door as well without ever having to pick up the key. So this is another way you can get in here without having to go through the trouble of powering lifts and getting wrenches and all kinds of other crap. You can just get in there by going that direction as well. But we are going to save our game because that was a lot of work to do and not do a save. Now we're going to go deal with the black market. So we're going to head around here to the left. Black market's in the exact same place in this mission as it was in the last mission. But before we go in there, we're going to head over here, use our access wrench on this door, because this is going to give us the ability to rob the black market. So we'll get that out of the way first. We're going to head over here, over top the railing, down here, and into the black market. And before we do anything, we are going to do some upgrades.
Please take a look around. We have the best wares for discerning guests such as yourself.
And before we leave, I'll show you the poppy tincture in here.
Choice. I'm certain you'll be satisfied with your purchase.
Alright,
Do
so...
find us again.
Oh, poppy tincture, poppy tincture. Poppy tincture is right here that you can buy. Okay? So once again, you can steal it as well, however you want to come by it. But if you don't want to deal with going to the... You want to use roof access to get in there, right? And you want to use your poppy tincture, but you don't want to rob the black market, so you don't have to go after the wrench. You can just buy it. And there is another way to power that lift without going over there to the left-hand side of the plaza and getting a whale oil tank. I'll show you that in a second. We're just going to hit this button here. That pops the door open. It's a great use for your hag pearl. Perfect use for it. A little bit of jelly. Rewire tool. It's about the extent of the loot in here. Head back across here. Go retrieve our hag pearl since we can only ever carry one with us. Those things must be really heavy. You can only ever carry one. And down in here, we'll get the contracts in just a second. We'll grab our hag pearl. Need some health. S&J health elixir here. There's one in the cabinets as well. Or the shutters. We'll crack open the shutters. We're going to grab a couple bone charms. 1, 2, 3. Here's our poppy tincture. We don't need it, but I'm greedy, so I'm taking it anyways. It's more electrical burst, more voltaic shot, since we did use some killing off the dogs. Alright, so this is where you could also fill a tank. So if you somehow screwed up, needed to fill another tank, you could always do it here. Obviously, you're still going to need to be able to rob the black market to fill the tank, but here's our contracts. Sorry. The art connoisseur. So we picked up that painting off the boat. That finished that contract. So we don't have to worry about it. The pickpocket's delight is the one I was telling you about that is in the plaza that causes the guard to spawn, and then those two are ones done inside the bank. But what I was saying is, like, if you could just get that wrench, and you can get the wrench by simply teleporting around on balconies, you don't have to take care of any guards. And then you can get the, you can come rob the black market, get a whale oil tank, and then when you head back up here, you can just go to the roof access point from the right-hand side of the plaza versus the left-hand side of the plaza. So when you get in here and play around, you'll understand what I'm talking about. We're going to use Ghost Walk for him and mark the guard that's in that hut now. Just so you can see where he's at. So he's right in here, hanging out where I said he would be. And once again, I have not seen him leave the hut. Now, I do this in a very specific order. I grab the contracts and then come right over here. I grab the contracts after I rob the black market as the last thing I do, and then come over here. But all I've ever seen him do is stand at the back of the hut or stand right where he is right now and eat an apple if he hasn't spotted anyone. If he spots them, he's walking around, and once he's walking around, it's pretty much you've ruined the contract at that point. At least that's been my experience. So we're just going to wait for him to take his last bite of apple, chuck it out the door like that, and that means he's going to walk back to the back. He does pause here for just a second, and then you can just sneak in here and snatch that up. Now, there are balconies on the left-hand side of the plaza. There are balconies on the right-hand side of the plaza. So if you didn't want to deal with guards and just wanted to use balconies to get the wrench, you could absolutely use these balconies on this side to get the wrench, use the same ones to get out, go to the black market, and then there are balconies just like this on the right-hand side over there, right, that you could use to get over to where you could grab a whale oil tank from there and then come over here and you can get to the lift that's over here. You don't really ever have to interact with the guards if you don't want to. I just did in this playthrough to show you a way you could clear out the guards if you were so inclined. But we've already powered it. You don't need to do anything with whale oil tanks. Hey, for that whale oil tank that was in there, I forgot to mention this, don't throw it. It looks empty. It's not. It still has a little bit of whale oil in it. I chucked it to break it the first time I was in here, and it blew up in my face. So don't make that mistake. It's not empty. Now, there's going to be 3 guards on top of this. You can actually bring a body up here with you if you really want to and just mimic, but we're not doing that. I'm going to go into Ghost form and just mark 2 guards for us. Actually, I think we'll mark all 3 of them. So there's 1 there, and then there's these 2 down here. And then we'll take her out first, and then the other 2, and then we'll do some looting because there's a bone charm up here. We'll just kind of wait for her to get into an advantageous position like she is in now. And then we'll just pop over here on top of the roof. And just drop down and take her out. Now we're going to drag her back. The reason we want to drag her back is that second guard that we picked up on the marking. He can spot you if you're moving around here to the left out in front of this little concrete area. So what we've waited on was the far guard to walk back behind the top of the building so he can't see us, and then we're just going to port down here, grab this guy, and move forward with him as we grab him and drop him over here. Alright, and then we're just going to mimic him and use him to take out the guard on the other side. Pretty simple stuff. 1, 2, 3. They're always taken out. No big deal. And you can leave the bodies wherever you want up here. Nobody's going to be up here looking for bodies. Alright, so they're out of the way. Now, where do you use your poppy tincture? Your poppy tincture is going to be located on the roof. I'm going to do a quick loading here. Just make sure to get this stuff out of the way so I don't forget it. But it's going to be over here on the right. And you can just drop it in here. However, save your game first, please. Okay? I have had a situation where Quiet as a Mouse fails after I drop the poppy tincture. So we're just going to save our game, drop the poppy tincture, Now we'll do a bit of looting over here. As I said, there is a bone charm over here we want to pick up. Not much else. At least not that I really found that was made me jump for joy. Alright. If we go and look, we still haven't failed the quest yet, which means nobody died. Nobody got knocked unconscious.
Easy. Now for the difficult part.
Part of doing the Quiet as a Mouse quest is not knocking anyone unconscious. So even though they've been technically
I need to stay quiet.
Put to
They
sleep
could still wake up if I make too much noise.
with the poppy tincture, they haven't been knocked unconscious. It's a very important distinction. If while you're moving around in here, you think it's a good idea to just choke someone out
Cienfuegos was obsessed, and it got him killed.
who's unconscious, it's not. It will fail that contract for you, so just don't do it. You don't need to knock anybody unconscious on your own. They're all sleeping. You should not make enough noise to wake them up. Alright, we're heading down here to open the inner atrium. You can loot the heck out of this place at this point. I'm not going to be doing that. Feel free to do that in your own game. And the outer atrium, nobody's awake. So you can pickpocket everybody. You can loot every desk. Do whatever you want. Just be careful about making noise. That's the key thing. We are going to head into the inner atrium. That's what pushing that button did. It opened these doors. Now, my opinion, from this position, teleport in here and get behind this. There are 2 of those security measures that electrocute you to death in here. In order to get around them, we're going to disable them. You don't have to disable them, but we're going to do that. I'm going to show you how. So, ghost form. Come over here and just put your displaced target here. Now, sometimes you can peek around the wall if you get the right angle, which that's not it. Otherwise, just get up top here. You are going to need to make sure you hit the right angle up top here so you don't get electrocuted. But now you can just displace through and walk in here. Disable the one to the left first, please, just because. And then there should be some copper wire. Yeah. As I said, we're not going to do too much looting in here, but if something's obvious, I'll try to grab it. I know we missed the ram horn or whatever it was back on the desk. I don't really care about it. Ugh, Jesus. Once it's been set down, you probably don't want to knock into it. Alright, so removing those whale oil tanks disables both of these things here, so they don't wind up attacking you, and you don't have to play around with line of sight to avoid getting shocked to death. You don't have to disable them, as I said. You can play with line of sight to avoid getting shocked, but that's just stupid if you can disable them and not worry about it. So at this point, we're going to save our game, and then we're going to head in here. We're going to use ghost form to mark a clockwork soldier that's walking around in here, right here. Just mark it,
I hate
and then
these
head up
things.
here. We're going to mark this
Why are they
guard
smiling?
just so you can see him in the video. Because what you
That
want
must
to
be the
do
vault.
is
It's some
teleport
kind
up
of
to this
fancy
corner
A
that I
control room
marked
can
us
move the
on.
vault into 2 places. I need to find a way to move that thing.
Not onto the desk
One way or another.
that guard is sitting at, because you'll wake him up if you teleport onto the desk. So you don't want to do that. Not saying that I've done that, because you know I wouldn't do anything stupid, but whatever. We're gonna do a drop takedown on this.
The best security in the aisle. Electrified floors, trained guards, clockwork
Just like that.
sentinels, and the jewel in our crown, the elevator vault.
If you're having trouble with that, or if that thing freaks out when you do a drop takedown on it, you do not have to take it out. You can totally maneuver in this area once you have it marked to disable the security field. The only problem is, if it sees the security field disabled, it freaks out. So, I have never had it freak out when I've done a drop takedown on it. There's one in the basement that we're going to be going and seeing. That one has freaked out on me when I've done a drop takedown on it and taken its head off. So the one up here seems to be safe to do that. The one in the basement, it does not seem to be safe to do that. That's been my experience. your experience in your game may be different.
Saying of the week. The best things in life are expensive. Start saving today.
If you don't want to deal with the Clockwork Soldier, you can always try to take it out with like a couple electric bolts. You're just getting into yourself into a situation where you may alert sleeping people. So, as I said, you're going to mark this Clockwork Soldier down here so we can move around through here, because this is the one that I have tried to do a drop takedown on. And he flips out and is like, the Clockwork Soldier's head has been removed. Watch out, everybody. Civilians. What? You know, he freaks out. So, keep an eye on him. We're going to move back here and grab a Bone Charm. The one upstairs, I promise you, I've never had it freak out on me. So I really think that's a safe approach. And I have tried it a number of times, you know, formulating different strategies in here. And that always does work for me. Otherwise, I wouldn't suggest it to you. What you want to do is get across here, because there's a painting here. And there's some loot in here that I want to show you. Alright, there's the painting right there. And some loot in that room to the right. So what he does is he kind of walks from left to right around this little hallway, kind of stands, and then goes back. He has a very short patrol path, but it's long enough you can move away and not be seen by him.
Michaels and Associates can help.
Do our waiting dance. Alright, he's moving back. And we're going to head in here, grab the painting.
Does the void really look like that?
And we're going to pop in here. Now, this safe code, you're going to enter in 3, 7, and then 9. There's really nothing in here of significant value to me, but I want to point it out that you can't open it. Now, for the love of God, be very careful opening the next safe, because there is this guard on the floor at your feet. If you step on him, he will wake up. Okay, if you move over here around him and then point at the dials, you can dial it in. Now, if you can't see what I'm dialing in 315. This is part of the contract that we picked up to steal this gem right here. Okay, so if we go look at the contract, it says I only had 315 coins to my name. 315 is the code. So we completed that contract. Alright, once again, you can loot this guy to your heart's content. Just do not step on him.
This is what I needed.
Now we're going to head back here and open up one more lockbox. The code for this is going to be 287. All of these codes, well, the one came from the contract, come from notes in the game. We didn't pick up all the notes, so just trust me, the codes are what the codes are. They've been consistent for me across playthroughs, so whatever. I don't think we can close this one. Alright, no closing. Alright, as you're leaving, make sure once again you do not walk over top of this guy and you don't get spotted by the Clockwork Soldier. Sorry, I think he's on the other side right now, but I can't tell for sure because of the weird depth in the game. Is he on our side? Nope, nope, nope. He's coming back over here. Alright, hold on. You want to make sure the Clockwork Soldier is on the opposite side when you walk out here.
Michael's account and a set of Sevilla cooking knives. Join today.
We'll just wait it out. It'll walk back over there, then we'll be safe to leave. And it's going to pop back up on top of this bookcase. Where is it at? There it is. Alright. And we're going to pop out here. Remember, the floor out here is electrified. So you don't want to teleport down onto it. Now, at the end of that room, there is a whale oil tank that you can take out and will remove the electrification from the floor. However, with all security measures, if that Clockwork Soldier spots that, which it will freak out. So I recommend that you don't do that. If you want to go down there and play around with that Clockwork Soldier and take its head off with a drop takedown and see if it works in your game, feel free. Just make sure you save your game before you do that, because it's happened to me consistently enough that I don't even screw with it anymore, whereas or insofar as taking off his head causes him to freak out and start alerting the guard down there that's sleeping. Then you get spotted. It screws up your contract. Yeah. So the note that we picked up off of that guy's body down in the archives, this is the security office that you would come to if you wanted to move the vault to a specific level to access it on a level in the game. He asks you for a security code. Give him the security code. He lets you in the office. You can take out the guard, and then you're able to move the vault around.
I'm here to steal all your secrets, Dolores.
We're not doing that, but we are going to do save our game real quick. In a different type of playthrough, you may want to do that. That's why I'm pointing it out. Now, we are going to loot some things from her. And then we are going to come over here, and we're going to copy the address from our contract from this book.
There,
All right, don't just read it, copy it. So you can see now all of our contracts are complete. None of them have failed. We're going to grab this. We're going to grab some gold ingots. Love me some ingots. And we're going to come up here, do a little more looting. Be careful walking around in this room. There are clockwork soldiers in here. Or at least there's at least
Dolores
one in here.
Michaels likes to keep all her secrets where she can see them.
That red button there that we pushed opens a hidden wall safe or wall compartment. See a clockwork soldier on our left? That's right here. I'm going to grab a black bone charm from this. Read this book, grab the vault key,
Away into
grab
the
the
void.
vault key. There we go.
I need
Another
to
note,
find it.
whatever. Now we're going to sneak
Cienfuegos sent Isla's documents to the Royal
and head out of
Conservatory.
here. Now that
I need
thing
to
to
find
your
out what
left
he knew.
there is actually
The
vault
conservatory
access.
is my next step.
If you go to the security control room and move the vault up to this level, once again, we're not doing that. I'm going to show you a much cooler way. So what we're going to do is get up on top of this elevator shaft, crack this hatch open, head inside, and go up one level. Once we get up to the top of this level, we're going to head in this little elevator maintenance shack. And this is actually the vault maintenance area. Apologies. Head over here and read a note. This is how I figured out how to do this. Read the note, and it effectively tells you that there's a breaking hatch on the vault, and
If
that
I
there
can find the
is
maintenance lever, I can
there's a
take the
maintenance
entire
lever
vault
you
off the
can
track.
use.
Could be a way to
on
get
it.
to it. A loud way.
So the maintenance lever's in here, and there is a security measure in here you want to avoid. I don't remember if we can just walk to this wall or if it's right here. Yep, it's right there. Sorry. What you want to do is teleport to this wall. There we go. And then you want to ghost walk. Don't just try to teleport. I've missed it a few times. Ghost walk and set your teleport target right here in front of this hatch that's open. And then just displace there and take the whale oil tank out. The hatch gives you cover. I've teleported in a weird position before and gotten shocked to death, even though I thought I had set my position behind the hatch. So if you head over into this drawer, this is where the braking lever is, and a note from Jindosh. Jindosh, the memories.
Could get that vault moving with a little maintenance.
Now, what we're going to do is head out here, make sure there is nothing else that we're interested in. I don't really think there is. No. Yeah, we picked up everything. All right, so, sorry. We're going to go and jump in a hatch over here, and this is going to take us down to the vault itself, where we can use the braking lever. So you can teleport down here, can drop down here, it doesn't really matter.
That'll
Place
do
the lever, pull the lever. These are, so there's going to be 4 of these little hatches here. All right.
it. I need something to pull back these brakes.
So pull the lever, and then it gives it back to you.
Didn't think anyone would steal the whole vault. Did
Insert
you?
the lever, pull the lever.
Start saving today. Starting a commercial venture? Michael's an
2 more to go.
can help.
All right. And then the last one.
Right. Brace yourself.
Like an amusement park ride. Drop zone.
I'm still in one piece.
Okay, once you get down here, check your contracts. Just verify nobody got pissed off, died,
But
woke
the
up,
vault
whatever.
isn't.
So you're good. Now, the vault entrance is actually over here on this side. Yeah. And this is where you're going to get your sword from. So we're just going to unlock the vault.
Brought you down to my level, didn't I?
Insert
Now
our
you're
keys and open this up. That's going to crack it open. Now, if you want to get in these, the code for this is 011. The code for this one is 235. The code for this one is 813. Code for this one is going to be 455. Sorry, we're out of focus on all of these. So 011, 235, 813,
2 locks. This has to be the one.
455, and this one's going to be 891. Now, someone sent me a nastygram arguing with me about this not being Fibonacci. This is the Fibonacci sequence. You just skipped a section of numbers because that fourth vault there has the sword in it. Okay? Because Fibonacci is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89. Well, effectively, you entered in 8, 13, and then you skipped 21 and the 3 from 34 and started with 455 as that code. So it's just because there was a vault in between here that you were skipping the next sequence of 3 numbers in the Fibonacci sequence.
You and I were both abandoned to uncertain futures on dangerous streets and taken in by murderers. Dowd spared your life all those years ago, but I was taught a lesson that you still haven't learned. Some wounds stay with you, even in the void.
Give it to me. I don't have time for this.
Time repeats the same unending patterns. 4,000 years ago, this knife cut my name away. Forgotten forever. You know what it's like to lose one name and live with another. We are all made by the things that are taken from us.
I've seen the people you've twisted with your poisonous magic. You know what I want. You know I'm coming for you.
I know more than most. I know that time is bleeding into itself around you. I know that you have felt it, and you are searching for the places where the world has broken against the void. I know that Dowd is dead where you left him on your ruined ship, and you will carry that knife with you to face me at the black center of all things.
Why are you doing this? Why are you talking to me now?
I'm here because you are different. The void has found you through the cracks in your broken life. And when you cut me out of it, what will remain? What will you leave behind when you walk away?
What does the outsider want from me? Dowd. Is he really gone?
He wants your body,
I
Megan.
have the knife. I need to get back to the dreadful wheel.
Alright, we'll do a bit of looting in these cabinets here. Doesn't look like there's much else. Alright, now we'll get out of here. And you're gonna see a familiar sight. If I can remember exactly where in the hell we go to get out of here. Is there a door up here? No. Oh, it's the sewer pipe. Where the hell is the sewer pipe at? Sewer pipe. It's on the other side of the vault. That's where it's at. It's this one right here. Sorry. Alright, so just swim straight through here and it dumps you out on the other side. You get the animation of taking damage, but take no damage. We're gonna head out of here and go back to the Upper Syria district.
Streets should be crawling with guards by now. Nothing I can't handle.
Okay, so from here we're gonna turn this lever, and you're gonna see a familiar sight. Remember when I showed you where the sanitation key was with that guy's body? I told you we would be coming out here. Here we are, right? So this is where the exit is taking you when you take the vault down, like we did. Now she says the streets are gonna be crawling with guards, but for the most part, the guards are gone, except that one guard that spawned with the contract. So make sure you look out for him as you exit this area. He is still over here in this guard hut. You do not want to knock him unconscious. That will break the contract. So just avoid him, and you won't have to worry about it. So when I said you could just get a whale oil tank from the black market and use the balconies on the right-hand side of the plaza in order to get over to that lift, this is the area I was talking about. So there he is right there. We're going to wait for him to walk back. He's eating his apple again.
More bad things have happened here in the last 5.
Alright. So he's walked back over there. If you're unclear about seeing his exact position, you can always just ghost walk and remark him. It's not that big of a deal. I just didn't because I could see him pretty clearly. I don't know how clearly it comes through in the video. Because the internet changes here. I had to... I'm looking at it in 4K, but I have to record it in 1920 by 1080, so I don't know how clear it is. But we're just heading down here to get out of here. We're going to take the skiff out instead of taking the carriage out. Just because we know that there's an easy path through here with no guards. And if we check our stats really quick before we wrap up, just to make sure, you can see we're clear on everything. Being spotted is what breaks Shadow. Nothing else breaks Shadow. Alright, so we didn't get spotted, we got Ghostly. An alarm was rung, but we still got Ghostly, which means we are still good for Shadow. We picked up all of our bone charms, our 4 paintings, we did all the contracts, so we are good to go. So that wraps us up for this mission. I hope you got something out of this. I tried to put a lot of thought into this one and give you a lot of extra options on how you move around the map. If you did get anything out of it, I sure would appreciate a like on the video or a sub on the channel. If you have any questions or comments because you're having trouble in your own walkthrough, please leave them down in the comment section below. But as always, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.